Hey guys, it's me, Vijay, back with another book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book called Looking Good Dead, written by Peter James. Peter James is a pretty famous author and producer who has written several books which are mostly crime thrillers which involve a lot of police work. He has put a lot of effort into researching about the actual facts and has worked with the police to find out more information about these books, so they are also factually correct. Along with this, he's also a producer who's produced several movies, including The Merchant of Venice, which stars Al Pacino. This book starts out with a slow pace and introduces Tom Rice. Tom Rice is a middle-aged man who owns his own company, but which is financially faltering. He owns a company which produces corporate gifts for major companies and minor companies. One day he's going on his train back home and he meets this obnoxious man. This obnoxious man abuses him for some time and they argue with each other, but he's never met this man before. And this man goes out of the train, but he leaves a CD behind. And Tom Rice does what any decent man would do. He picks up the CD in the thought of returning it back to that man. But he's also an inquisitive man, so he decides to go back home and he plays the CD. But the contents of the CD are really gruesome. It shows the gruesome murder of a young woman. He stops playing the video, but his computer gets completely affected and his computer gets a virus. He thinks nothing of it. He thinks that it's some kind of movie teaser and he goes back to his normal life without telling anybody about what happened. But this is where the plot thickens. We are introduced to Roy Grace, the detective superintendent of the police in that area, and they find a woman who was gruesomely raped and murdered with her hands and her head missing. It takes a lot of time for them to identify who the woman is, but finally they're able to find out who the woman is. By this time, Tom Rice is getting lots of threats from other people, mysterious people who are calling him on the phone, finding out where he lives and talking to his wife and children. And what happens next is quite crazy, as Tom Rice and his family are brutally killed. The police, including Detective Roy Grace, have to find out why are these murders happening and how they are happening. And the police, at its own pace, is not taking any major action, but Roy Grace has to put all his effort into finding out who is orchestrating these gruesome murders. This book is not like any of the crime thrillers that I have read, except for the fact that it involves a lot of more factual information about how the police take out their actions, about the coroner's office and etc. And along with this, it also gives us a different angle. It's not just a person who's it's not just a serial murderer who's committing these crimes. It's a whole group of organization of people. And this was quite interesting book because it starts out quite slow paced, introducing the characters and the livelihoods of these people. But slowly, as the plot thickens, we're introduced to much more angles of why these murders are being committed and a much darker side to these murders. So this was an interesting book and I really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this book review as much as you did reading this book, be sure to subscribe and like. I'll see you all in another video.